Hello, I'm Jyotika. Welcome back to Excelling Psychology. We are solving in this lesson May June 2025 paper 1, variant 2. I've already covered section A in the past two videos. If you haven't watched them already, please watch those before watching this one so this video will make more sense to you. I'll link those parts below in the pinned comment and description box. You can also visit the AS Psychology checklist for those videos and many more such videos. For those of you who don't know, I'm a private tutor of psychology, and in case you want to schedule your classes with me, my contact number and email ID are available in the description box and pinned comment below. So today let's begin the lesson by looking at section B, which mainly has essay questions. I have covered essay questions repeatedly because they are the most asked for by students. So, what is a peel format? How to answer essay questions using that format? And what is the overall organization and the structure required for essays? I have covered those things. In this lesson, my objective is to cover the specific paper. So, I'm bringing to you model answers for this particular paper from the beginning, and that is why I will not be able to discuss in too much detail how you should format your essay. So, for that, you can watch the previous videos. But through these model answers, which I have on the screen right now, you will be able to see that same approach being taken while writing these answers. First, there's a short question in section B. Let's cover that first and then we'll come to the essays. The first question is 9A from the study by Pilyavin et al. Describe two victims used in this study. This question, frankly speaking, is a little tricky and I'm not agreeable with how it is to be answered, but nevertheless, it is that way. When we say describe the two victims, they expect that the conditions of the victim should be described. So we know there are only two types of victims in this study, the drunk and the ill victim. But I would get confused if I was a student that maybe they're asking about the appearance of the victims. However, in the mark scheme, it is clearly specified that for appearance, they will not be giving much credit. So, wording then I would take if they wanted to know about the appearance of the victim would be specific to like describe the features of the victim or the appearance of the victim. So, if you see a question like this in the paper, just two victims is mentioned, think of it as the victim conditions. As I have explained in the previous videos, describe is an AO1 command term. It's allotted 4 marks in this question, so make sure you're giving 4 points. That is all there is to scoring in this paper. It's in this question. It's a very descriptive question, like totally AO1. So I have nothing much to offer except that write properly what you have learned about the victim conditions. You can think of it in terms of structure, like just name one condition, explain it, then name the second condition and explain that. That is all you have to do in this answer. So let's see the model answer to understand more concretely. The first victim appeared to be drunk. So here you can see the student has named the condition. He smelled of alcohol and carried a liquor bottle wrapped in a brown paper bag. Here they've described what the victim behaved like when they pretended to be drunk. Then the second victim appeared to be ill. So again, you can see the condition has been named. And then that is further elaborated by saying they were carrying a black cane and they were behaving sober. So, very easy to score as such. The main thing is not to get confused with the appearance of the confederate who is playing the victim. Now, coming to the essay questions. In the new syllabus, definitely we have one 8 marker and one 10 marker essay. First, we are looking at the 8 marker essay. It's in the same section, so again, it comes from Pilyavin et al. In this type of question, they ask us to compare. So, they'll take like Pilyavin and one more study. Comparison can be in terms of similarities and differences, or only similarities, only differences. So there are three ways they can structure: one similarity, one difference, or two similarities, or two differences. They do specify one inclusionary or exclusionary criterion. In this case, you can see one of the points must be about the sample. So one inclusionary criterion is given. Alternatively, they can give an exclusionary criterion that don't give any point about this thing. Okay. So you have to be very mindful of one, what are they asking for, similarities, differences, or both. In this case, only differences. So make sure you don't give a similarity. I know when I'm saying some things, they appear very obvious, but trust me, there are many students who make obvious type of errors in the paper. So this is to bring it to your attention. Make sure that you don't confuse between the studies. If you get confused, please read what is given in the brackets. They always give that. So make sure Pilyavin you know is the subway study. Don't confuse it with Milgram obedience study. In the same way, Perry et al. Make sure you know it's the personal space study. Don't confuse it with the Pilyavin subway study. Okay, so make sure you know all your course studies well. You don't have a choice here. That is very clear. You can't compare it with any other study. They usually name it. They can say some other study from the, say, social approach in this case. In that case, if they ask it that way, you have to be even mindful about knowing which studies come under which approach so that you don't make a mistake. Also, when they say one of the differences must be about the sample of participants, try to begin with the difference specified. They prefer that, not compulsory. You can take it as the second point also, but still beginning with it is ideal. So try to take it in the first point itself. Now, because in essays, organization is important, but like I've already told you, I won't be able to go in the depth. Still, just take a look how the student has given two different paragraphs for each difference. Not compulsory. I know for some of you whose handwriting is a little larger, it can be difficult to accommodate all the wording in the space given. Still, try your best to have like two separate paragraphs. Even better if you can have a line in between, just so that you know it's easier to read for the examiner. The examiners have to read a lot of essays, and it should not be that in the process of finding it difficult to read your answer, they end up missing something you have written and they don't give you marks. So make sure that the examiner does not miss anything. Make it so clear to them that you have given two differences as demanded by the question. So for that, keep the organization neat. Besides, look at the way of beginning each paragraph. One difference is the sample of participants used, another is the role of the stooges. Again, just see in the beginning itself, the student makes it very clear that this is what my first paragraph is going to talk about, sample. This is what my second paragraph is going to talk about, stooges. Think if you were the examiner, how easy and convenient it would be for you to read the answer, and you would definitely not miss out that the student has met the requirements of the question. So always write from a perspective that will this be easy for the examiner to follow. Okay, let's see how the points are elaborated upon. First, a point is named like sample of participants. Then, a supporting evidence is given from Pilyavin et al. Like what was the sample like? Opportunity, mix of males and females. Then in Perry et al., what was the sample like? Volunteer, university students, that also only males. So evidence is given from each study. Specific examples or concrete examples are given from each study. The most common mistake is just to say the samples were different and leave it at that. Or the sampling techniques were different, leave it at that. No elaboration, no evidence. That will not get you any marks because it's just reiteration of what is given in the question. So, see how you have to make every point very contextualized to the studies. And of course, there should be a conclusion at the end of the point. You have to explain this difference as the mark scheme says. So, okay, we understand Pilyavin had a different method, Perry had a different method, Pilyavin had different features, Perry had different features. So, what? What does this tell us about one study in relation to the other? What does this tell us about the sample of one study in relation to the other? Now you have to explain that in a very contextualized way. So let's see the model answer again. Pilyavin sample is more representative of the general public as compared to Perry. This is the comparison we are drawing. We're explaining that this is the comparison which is coming about by looking at this difference. And again, to reiterate why it is more representative and generalizable, because Perry has only male, only student sample. That is why. Further, also it's explained. You can pause the video and read like how females or older people are not represented in Peri at all. So make sure you give a conclusion of this type. Why most students are scoring only 3 or 4 on an 8 marker is because no conclusion. They just give, okay, one difference is this. Some of them even give specific evidence. In this study, it was this way. In that study, it was that way. But what are we coming to know about one study in relation to the other? They don't explain that at all. So make sure you write as it is written here in the model answer. Now let's look at the next paragraph. Another difference is the role of the stooges. So in Piliavin's study, the stooge were the Confederates. In Perry et al. Study, the stooge was a computer simulation. Means here the student is talking about the protagonists that were approaching the central figure. So, okay, good. Specific evidence is given, but again, see the reconciliation, the conclusion. That is the main thing. Piliavin's study had greater ecological validity. So that is the comparison we're able to draw. That look, there were live stooges in Piliavin's study, so better ecological validity, more realistic. Whereas Perry's study was artificial and it was less realistic, so lower ecological validity. Okay, like I told you, if you need to know more about this, please watch some of the other videos on essay questions in my channel. Also, I want you to notice even in the conclusions, always both the studies are pitted against each other. Okay, so it's not like in the conclusion we say, okay, Piliavin is more ecologically valid or Piliavin has a more representative sample. Again, we explain it. Why is it more representative than Perry's sample, or why is it more ecologically valid than Perry's procedure? So make sure you write in this way. As I told you, you can pause the video, screenshot the answer, and don't memorize the answer, but take it as an example. Like, this is how even I should be writing, and try to match your writing style and structure with the answer given. Now, let's come to the 10 marker. The 10 marker also has a very fixed wording. They name one study. Here they've named Baron Cohen et al. Then they ask for two strengths and two weaknesses of that named study. It's fixed, just the name of the study changes. And they give an inclusionary criteria in this case, not an exclusionary one. So here you can see at least one of the points must be about quantitative data. We definitely have to cover quantitative data. Again, preferably begin with it. Not compulsory, you can take it later, but ideally take that as the first point. Follow peel structure. Peel structure I have covered in too many videos. Okay, so you can watch any of my past videos. Some dedicated videos are also there for essay questions. You definitely find what is the peel format, or you can visit my website also, ciealevels.excelling psychology.com. You'll find about peel format there as well. Okay, so let's go over the model answer very quickly. So it begins with quantitative data, always beginning with the named issue and making it clear, like, look, to the examiner in the first line itself, I'm taking the named issue first. Then evidence. Following a peel format, we have given the point. We have said this is a strength. Now, what is the evidence? What is the quantitative data collected? As far as Baron Cohen is concerned, number of correct emotions identified. Like, what were the scores on the ICE test? You could put it that way also. Then coming to explanation, why is this a strength? Okay, evidence is there, this is the quantitative data, but why did we say in the point that this is a strength? Because direct comparison could be drawn between the experimental ASHFA group and the remaining control groups in the study. And that is why, very objectively, we could interpret who is giving a better performance and who's giving a worse performance in relation to others, objectively or without any bias. That is the strength. That's why we said it is a strength. And then finally, in conclusion, strong measurable evidence for the aim of the study. What is the aim of the study? To see that people with ASHFA will not be good in theory of mind compared to normal people. So a result like this, which objectively tells us that they got lower scores than other participants, helps to clearly with validity establish the aim of the study. Alternatively, in the last point, you could say it increases validity of findings. So this is also one way of writing, the way it's written the model answer. The other way is to link to GRAPE, generalizability, reliability, validity, and so forth. Either case, peel format is being followed. Context, evidence, reasoning is there. That is what get marks. Again, I've elaborated on this in another video. You can watch that. Another strength you can see standardized procedure. So again, the paragraph begins with naming the strength clearly, making a point. Then evidence. What exactly standardized? Very concretely, like 36 black and white photographs. Very specific details from the study. 4 mental states as response choices for each one. Again, why is it a strength? Because study is very reliable, it can be replicated, and we can see whether the findings are consistent with Baron Cohen's findings. Means we are trying to say other researchers can also take autistic and normal individuals, conduct such a study, and see whether they get the same findings like Baron Cohen. That will further strengthen our confidence in the findings of Baron Cohen. Then coming to the weaknesses, again same peel format followed. A weakness is ecological validity is limited. Why? Because evidence wise only the eye region is shown, and then reasoning wise, like why we saying it's a weakness, because in everyday life we would look at the whole faces of people, their body language, their voice, and then we would decide which emotion they are undergoing. So now link wise, like what is the problem? We can say it's very unrealistic, or if we can explain like this even better, it does not represent social understanding in real world. What sort of difficulties ASHFA people experience when they can see body language, tone of voice, full face of other people. There, why they have difficulty in identifying their emotions, that is not reproduced in this study because it's so limited in the stimuli that it gives. That is why this is a weakness. And the last weakness is generalizability. Evidence wise, why we are saying generalizability is difficult, because in ASHFA group there are only 15 participants, out of which all are males, absolutely no females. Why this is a weakness? Because then findings will generalize only to males with HFA, it will not generalize to females with HFA in the population. And that is why population validity, or you can use the general term generalizability, of the findings of this study are lacking. Again, you can take a screenshot even of this essay, follow it carefully, see how the answer has been written for like top mark band requirements. Of course, you will not be able to memorize so many essays, that should not be your objective also, but once you write an essay, compare with this one. Have you been as specific as this one? Have you explained your points thoroughly like they have been explained here? Have you organized in a way that the examiner will be able to see every point very clearly and there won't be any confusion in reading your answer? So keep matching your essay with this one and try your best to write one just like this. So that covers May June paper 1 variant 2. I hope this video has been useful to you as have the previous videos. So I hope the whole lesson helps you to attempt your upcoming papers. I'll try to be back very soon with paper 2 also for the same variant, same year. In the meanwhile, if you have any feedback, comments, suggestions, or questions about the videos I make on this channel, please leave them in the comments box below. Please do not contact me personally for any queries that you have about this channel. I will not be able to answer you. So reach me out with the right channel and I will be able to give you helpful answers. I'll see you soon in another video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.